The Durable Rust Resistance in Wheat Project, or DRRW, is an international agricultural initiative that seeks to protect the yields of wheat farmers worldwide. Researchers from 22 institutions work together through the DRRW project to find new ways of reducing the effects of fungal diseases such as stem, yellow, and leaf rust. These diseases attack wheat crops and threaten farmers' livelihoods. This unique collaboration among granting agencies, educational institutions, national agricultural research programs, and private sector partners helps smallholder wheat farmers prosper in wheat-growing regions around the world. Key aspects of the DRRW project include investments in infrastructure such as greenhouses, laboratories, and irrigation systems, the professional development of wheat researchers through training, exchange visits, and international workshops, the collection and sharing of valuable wheat variety screening, rust survey, and race analysis data, and the development, release, and promotion of new wheat varieties for farmers with input and leadership from national research programs. The progress made by Ethiopian farmers and researchers is one example of how the disease monitoring and crop improvement model used by the DRRW project can improve a nation's food production system. Since the DRRW project was launched in 2008, the national average for wheat yields on smallholder farms in Ethiopia has increased from 1.6 tons per hectare in 2004 to 2.4 tons per hectare in 2014. Farmers in Ethiopia's high potential areas are now harvesting as much as 5 to 8 tons per hectare.
Maqaan kiyya Maakida Muhammad, Itoophiyaa irraa dhufee aanaa muunessaa ganda hulluuqoo caqaso ijoollee 5 qaba. Kan hojjedhu qamadii hin qotaa, boqqoolloo hin qotaa, baaqela hin qotaa. Amma garuu nama miidhagaa waan hin jirre tokko ta'e garuu namni hin dhuma jechuudha. Qooqaan hin dhuma jechuun fixalama. Amma baruma tokko chodoo midhaan nurraa bade, baruma tokko chodoo midhaan nurraa bade takka kales wanti tokko hin jiru. Itoophiyaa dhumu bicha.
You know that we had yellow rust epidemic in 2010 and our major varieties were attacked severely and farmers lost a lot of yield. It's countrywide epidemic. And fortunately we had the new durable varieties under test at that time.
Through collaboration with the Borlaug Global Rust Initiative, or BGRI, support from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the UK Department for International Development, and the Ethiopian government, major advances have been made to enhance the effectiveness of agricultural research and extension institutions in Ethiopia.
When I started, the yields nationally were around 1.2 tons per hectare. Now we see farmers harvesting under rain-fed condition with good management, use of these improved varieties, 6 tons, 7 tons.
The response of Ethiopia during the last years to the threat from UG99, and in particular after the losses they had experienced from yellow rust, is remarkable. I mean, by any standards, Ethiopia has done an incredibly good job of testing new varieties which were resistant to stem rust and yellow rust, which had high yield, and then put these lines into fast-track multiplications and get the seed out to farmers.
Under the DRRW project, Ethiopian agricultural research facilities at Kalumsa, Ambo, and Debrecen have been enhanced with new laboratories and equipment, new irrigation systems, greenhouses, computers, tractors, and combines. This capacity building enables researchers to plant out and test wheat lines from global collaborators against different stresses with much greater efficiency and speed. Ethiopian researchers are also now able to conduct race analysis on rust samples using the new greenhouses and laboratories.
BGRI and DRRW has constructed us a very good greenhouse, and we are now doing race analysis perfectly.
Local staff are being trained on equipment operation and maintenance, in contrast to the decades-long trend of development aid that supplied tractors, but no training or parts. Gary Shelton from Washington State University travels to Ethiopia several times a year to train researchers on how to plant and harvest wheat by machine. He also trains workers on equipment maintenance and repair techniques.
A research trial involves randomization of plots and putting seed in the ground in the right place. And historically, they do this all by hand. People lay envelopes out on the ground and labor plants it all by hand. With this piece of equipment, it requires all the setup in a lab environment with the envelopes in the right order, with an operator that knows how to drop the seed in the correct area while they're moving. And it speeds up the planting by 10, 20-fold.
Creative uses of new infrastructure also helps with resource conservation in local communities. For example, the new irrigation system installed at the Kalumsa Research Station reuses nutrient-rich wastewater from the nearby barley malt factory to irrigate wheat research fields.
The malt factory has a large amount of water that is considered waste. That water usually drains into the river through the village, and the community were complaining, and also down the river people were complaining. The idea came that if you use natural water and also the malt factory wastewater in a mixture, then the water shortage we have during the off-season will be solved very, very, very effectively.
The DRRW project supports the professional development of Ethiopian wheat researchers through training and award programs, exchange visits, and international workshops.
Having more number of well-skilled and well-experienced manpower through long-term and short-term training is really a very important step in enhancing wheat improvement or generally agricultural productivity in the country.
Every year, the BGRI holds a technical workshop where the top wheat researchers from all over the world gather to network and share their research and ideas. The DRRW also holds training courses in South Asia, Kenya, Ethiopia, and Mexico. These courses teach skills related to rust scoring, race analysis, and surveillance in farmers' fields.
My institution has benefited a lot, participating in different workshops, participating in trainings, meeting with great people, and that is not only for me, for others also. This has a great impact.
I have got my Women in Triticum Award in 2010. Due to my award, I have got the chance to participate in the 2011 wheat pathology training in Obregon, Summit. We have stayed there almost 3 weeks, and it was really a good experience for me.
With new infrastructure and expert human resources, today, 15 public research centers in Ethiopia participate in annual wheat rust surveys. As a valuable partner in the global wheat rust monitoring system, the Ethiopian Institute for Agricultural Research, or EIAR, sends rust spore samples to laboratories in Canada, the United States, and Denmark for race analysis. This helps scientists identify new races of rust diseases.
In Ethiopia, we're seeing a major success story in terms of the global rust monitoring system providing early warning to the country. Ethiopian Institute of Agricultural Research, the Extension Directorate, the Animal and Plant Health Directorate, FAO, the Agricultural Transformation Agency, CIMIT, they're all coming together to really plan and take action steps in advance of any disease outbreak.
Surveillance, led by Professor Robert Park and Dave Hodson with CIMIT, who's based in Ethiopia. That capacity probably now exceeds anything that the world has ever seen, and for as a mass surveillance of an important plant disease. Our colleagues have really stepped up to help South Asia and other parts of the world in screening their material.
Under the DRRW project, the stem rust screening nursery at Debrecen now routinely handles several thousand wheat lines annually from DRRW partners all over the world. High-quality screening data obtained there is the platform through which many international wheat breeding programs identify new and valuable sources of rust resistance for wheat. With the development, rapid multiplication, and popularization of rust-resistant wheat varieties and new agronomic practices, Ethiopia's wheat crop is now much less vulnerable. In 2005, most of Ethiopia's wheat growing area was planted to varieties that later succumbed to new races of stem and yellow rust. By the end of 2013, nearly 18% of the wheat growing area was planted with varieties protected by multiple gene adult plant resistance, like Danda and Kakaba. During the same year, about 30% of the wheat growing area was planted with an older variety carrying single gene protection against stem rust called Digalu. This variety became popular because it provided protection during Ethiopia's yellow rust epidemic of 2010. Digalu is now being phased out in favor of wheat lines with more durable genetic protection against new races of stem rust. Still, the rapid release and adoption of new varieties in Ethiopia is a remarkable achievement, and small farmers have benefited tremendously.
dandaa kan jedhu kiiloo 12 fudhachuudhaan naannoo kumtaala 4 walakkaa argatee kaan maasaa irratti qopheessee kaan naannoo kumtaala 2,500 kuma sadiitti gurgurachuudhaan sirriitti bu'aa gaarii argadhee jira. Gara dhaqqabaallee akkasumatti waan baay'isu danda'a fakkeenya barreen gaddaa samee shawaarraa isinirraa dhufanii jechuudha. Naannoo kumtaala 20 gara 20tti gurguradhee kunoo mana gabaa kiyya.
We have two systems, informal seed multiplication, mostly by the farmers, and then formal seed multiplication. In my thinking, the informal seed multiplication was much faster, farmer to farmer. What they need is only small training on how to handle the seed production.
Odoo chaayinoota kana fidee nu agarsiisuun dura ofii deemee barate sanyii filatamaa tokkodhaan mana manaan dinnichaa, atara, baaqelaa, talbaa, xeefii wanta jiru haga qoricha dukaanatiin bahutti qorsa dukaanatiin bahutti waan dhaabatutu jira haga isaatiin nutti raabsa itti fayyadamuu dadhabna wanta abbaan keenya hojjete itti fayyadamuu dadhabna.
Farmers who produce the seed sell at a much higher price, and that increase their income, improve their livelihoods. So other farmers follow the suit.
Dirama guddatu dhufa keessumattuu qotee bulaan keenya kun waldaan ka gurmaa'e kun bakka tokkotti kuufne gaaga qulumsaa dirasii akkasitti odoo bitannee itti fayyadamne kan jedhu fedhii qabna. Gama biraatiin gama ifaatii fi gara tokkotti yoo gargaarsi kan jiraatu taate ummanni keenya kun ummata xiqqoo eeriyaa wanni keessa remote area keessa kan jiru waan taaneef gama ifaatiin.
Nuuroon kiyya amma orga sarara kanaan facaasuu jammare nuuroon kiyya baay'ee ashaashaale. Qusannollee naa godhee.
In December 2013, the wheat rust monitoring program in Ethiopia provided early warning of an outbreak of stem rust that caused significant yield losses for farmers. A rapid analysis found that a whole new race of stem rust, unrelated to UG99, was responsible. Efforts are now underway to identify potential replacement varieties that would be durably resistant to this new race of stem rust. A mobilization such as this would have been unimaginable back in 2008. As new rust pathogens evolve, disease monitoring, evaluation, and screening of germplasm will continue. New varieties with enhanced disease resistance will be developed and released to protect against new virulent races.
Every year, 2-3 cultivars resistant to stem rust or yellow rust are coming. And at this moment, stem rust is reducing because of the resistant varieties.
If we can control the rust coming out of East Africa, that will have a global impact. So from an international perspective, the investments which are done in East Africa, yes, they are focused on East African countries, but they definitely also benefit the rest of the world.
The achievements made in wheat research and development in Ethiopia are an example of how global investments in infrastructure, research, and professional development help solve complex problems in agriculture and improve food security at local, national, and international levels. Ethiopian farmers are achieving increased yields with the use of new varieties and improved agronomic practices. Their wheat crops are more secure, and they are better prepared for future challenges.
Amma yoo fooyyee midhaan kana facaafadhe yoo fooyyee malee ammas mana keessa hanqinna qaba ammallee. Mirti gaarii yoo argadhe qotadhe of fooyyessuu mokkora jechuudha.
One thing what makes Ethiopia as a model is that the government is fully supporting the national programs. In Ethiopia, the government is positive in allocating some budget. There are more number of research staffs in the different disciplines. If the country becomes self-sufficient, then it can help also the neighboring countries.
You know, the ultimate thing is taking it to the farmer. We've shown that we can do that in a place like Ethiopia. That's one of the future challenges, how to utilize technology for the last mile, to take it to the farmers. Dr. Borlaug always said that's our ultimate challenge.
The threats posed by new virulent races of stem, yellow, and leaf rust are challenges that farmers have faced since the dawn of agriculture. Mitigating these threats requires the preparedness and coordination of an interdisciplinary global community of experts, with resources to support groundbreaking research and development. The Borlaug Global Rust Initiative will continue to work toward durable rust resistance and a food-secure future for wheat-growing regions around the world.
I'm happy about the Ethiopian wheat program. After all, wheat is a major crop of the world, for food security. And production of wheat should be protected everywhere in the world. So my hope is that BGRI will continue with the spirit and legacy of Dr. Norman Borlaug.